everyone. This is Lily and The.Spectre casting for you.
Hello, how are you going? Alright, I've set everything up on the stream. All good, so it looks like tonight we're doing AMD Dota 2 Premier League Season 2 and we are casting Crew vs Neolution.G7 in a best of 3.
Yeah, this is the what they're calling the rest of C qualifier for people who don't fit into the other groups, since they've been doing the qualifiers in groups. So I don't know anything about these teams. I haven't seen them play before, so it should be quite interesting.
I know Neolution sponsors a lot of teams in C. They're part of Orange and also a few other ones I'm trying to remember, but there are at least 2 or 3 teams that are under the Neolution kind of branding, so thanks for them for supporting the Dota 2 C scene.
Of course. Good on them. Alright, so looking at the band so far, very standard, as we saw last night, probably going to be maybe Nyx, Visage, Shadow Demon, Nakes, Alchemist, very repetitive heroes seem to be kept getting picked and banned.
Yeah, I think that's not going to change until there's the next big kind of patch, or either some new strats come out at TI3 that makes everyone kind of change their minds about some heroes. But it seems that everyone kind of wants to run the aggressive heroes, especially in these the C games with the Alchemist and Shadow Demon, as you were saying. So obviously we'll see how the picks turn out here.
I find the Tree and ban a little bit interesting because Tree hasn't been picked or banned that much since he got nerfed. He really requires a lot of experience in lane, so to become effective. So I kind of wonder if Crew is just going to go for some kind of experience-based ganking strategy, and the Nyx really does kind of fit that.
Yeah, definitely. And the Visage first pick from Neolution.G7, so right as you predicted, Visage and Nyx right off the bat. And it'll be interesting to see whether the Crew go for their tri-lane support. The Shadow Demon is banned out, so we're not going to see a setup through Disruption. So possibly a Rubik hasn't been banned out. Is usually picked up quite soon.
Yeah, Rubik's a pretty popular one to pick up, and they go for the OD. OD has been shown to be a very, very strong solid mid here, especially if played, to his maximum effectiveness, especially against any kind of intelligence heroes that get lane mid. He absolutely dominates them. So
yeah, exactly. I think
he's a very strong pick at the moment.
Yeah, the only time we've seen anyone do well against him was a Queen of Pain, and I think we were both kind of a bit baffled about that matchup because we thought the Queen would lose far worse than she ended up.
Yeah, that was a bit of an interesting game, but I think that the OD did his best, but the Queen of Pain was a very strong player, and the ganks on the OD didn't help that much.
Yeah, the rotations coming up from TMY last night were top notch. So obviously that's what Neolution.G7 will have to try and do to the OD. A very gankable hero early game. Really doesn't have any solid escape. He can at best imprison himself and hope for some support TPs, but very, very paper before he gets up something like a Mechanism or a Force Staff.
Yes. I'm just wondering what Neolution.G7 are going to go for now. They're digging into a lot of the reserve time, and there we go. They pick up the Lifestealer. I like the next pick against the OD, because that Rage means that the OD's Arcane Orb, which is OD's primary game carry spell, it doesn't do any damage to Nyx, so it's a decent pickup, as well as being quite good in lane with the Visage. After the nerf on Open Wounds, now the AoE for casting is absolutely tiny, but with the Grave Chill, Nyx is going to be able to get into range to cast that Open Wounds in a tri-lane. Exactly. So I quite like that pickup.
We might see Crew in response banning out kind of Nyx carriers and the Storm Spirit and the Bat Rider. Actually, the Bat Rider's already banned out. What am I saying? But maybe the Storm Spirit is a very common Nyx bomb. But it looks like they're going to stick to a game plan they have and are going to take out SK.
Just fixing, your Skype is going a little bit crazy, so I'm just going to, you're going a bit robot sometimes.
Okay, no worries.
Alright, so Syllabare, Sand King. Sand King has been picked and banned a lot in these C qualifiers. I think he's making a little bit of a comeback, which I like because I like Saint King. He's such a good hero. Anyway, so
Yeah, I think kind of Net's recent play on him during the Alienware Cup kind of made people remember the power that is the SK support.
yeah, as well as being able to solo quite well.
Yeah.
But Crew, they're going to be looking for, well, another support, probably a carry hero, maybe something like a gyrocopter, something that can lane effectively against the Nakes, and also have the ability to outcarry the Nakes if given the need, and an off laner unless they decide to go for an aggressive tri lane. You might see something like the Puck picked up. Puck does decently against the Lifestealer carry as well, being able to just phase shift when he gets wounds and orb away. But if not the Puck, maybe even a Queen of Pain. She's still in the pool, which is kind of uncommon.
Yeah, definitely. The Razor actually being picked up by Crew, so something also being dabbled with by Orange, and I think MUFC picked it up recently as well. The static link is really strong against Lifestealer because it does go through Rage.
Yeah.
So, and it also goes through Infest, I found out in a pub game the other day. So it's quite a strong counter to really take away all of the Lifestealer's damage and then return it to his team.
Well, I do have to say, I like this Razor pick, not only because it counters the Nakes, but also because it denies Neolution of picking up the Razor themselves, as Razor is one of these heroes that can kind of go toe-to-toe with the OD mid. If you max the static link in the passive, the OD is going to have an equally bad time against the Razor, so I really do like that pickup, because it's a strong pickup and it denies Neolution from taking the same hero.
Definitely. It looks like they're going to... Ooh, and we see the Nature's Prophet pick up by G7. So that's definitely a global ganking carrier of the Lifestealer. So probably maybe seeing a bit more of a global strat coming out from G7. We might see something like a Tinker heading in mid. Probably not the best against an OD, to be honest. But I don't think they're going to get a very favourable matchup 1v1 in any case.
Yeah, I like the Furion pick. I mean, Furion's a very strong hero, and he does kind of give him a bit more ability to gank globally. But this Queen of Pain, wow, they have got a really, at the moment, level and item dependent lineup. These four heroes, the Nyx, the OD, the Razor, and the Queen of Pain, they all need items. And they all need levels, so Crew are going to have to do very, very well in the early game, or they're going to have a really tough time once it reaches mid-game.
Yeah, and I'm thinking maybe more that the OD is going to be their safe lane carry, with possibly... Oh, actually, the lanes are pretty open. They could send the Razor, the OD, the Queen of Pain, or the Nyx mid. They're all very viable in that position, so I suppose it depends how they predict Neolution's lanes to how they're going to send them out.
At the moment, I'm suspecting they're going to put Razor in the tri-lane with the Nyx, and they're going to pick up one more support and run that, an aggressive tri-lane. Because Razor, even though Visage really thrives in a tri-lane versus tri-lane situation, the Razor's going to be able to shut down the Nyx. As soon as that Nyx goes into last hit, he's just going to static link him. Nyx is going to have to, back off every time, and Razor's going to get a lot of damage from that. Not to mention the nukes from the Nyx Assassin's stun, Razor's Plasma Field, and whatever last support they pick up, which maybe could be a Rubik, a Lina, or a Leshrac THD. Whoever, it's going to be a lot of lockdown, a lot of damage, and a lot of taking damage from the enemy team. So that's my prediction.
Yeah.
Probably Queen of Pain safe lane against that Windrunner.
The Windrunner is picked up. Kind of a little cheeky synergy with the Nature's Prophet being able to shackle to the Sprout, which does persist even if the trees are demolished. So a nice little play there, and also Windrunning with a Lifestealer inside you isn't too bad in initiation either. So they're definitely keeping their options open. It'll most likely be the solo offlane Windrunner, or maybe solo safe lane, trying to go up against the Queen of Pain that you predicted as a solo.
I'm wondering if they might run the Furion in the mid lane. I mean, I don't know. I've never actually seen Furion go toe-to-toe with the OD, but teleport only costs 50 mana, and if you're running a Furion mid with the intention of just ganking, even if he does get quite low mana, he just needs to back off for long enough for one of the things to wear off, and he can TP gank, so possibly that might be what the plan is. Otherwise, the Windrunner could run a support, and they might be picking up one more hero to go mid with the Furion off lane.
And the Puck does get banned out by Crew, so Noting that all of their heroes are very spell reliant and very positioning reliant, and the Puck is just such a good area denial hero along with the AoE silence. It's really havoc for Queen of Pain and OD especially, trying to get off their combinations in a team fight.
Yeah.
Neolution.
Kind of wondering, this last ban by Neolution, it kind of doesn't matter what they ban out, because either way, Crew is going to get a good support, because they haven't really been banning out too many supports.
Yeah,
and they go for the Bane.
Yeah, the Bane for the Fiend's Grip for the Lifestealer.
They're going for a very damage-denying strategy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Enfeeble as well as Static Link. And, I mean, kind of sideways, the Astral Imprisonment's going to take damage from the Windrunner, the Furion, and the Visage. So that's a really interesting, but kind of cool, damage-taking strategy.
And that's sort of the risk you run when you pick a Lifestealer as a second pick. The enemy's kind of able to respond to that, and they've drafted the Razor and the Bane directly afterwards, so definitely wanting to shut down that Lifestealer early on.
Yeah.
And judging by the Gyrocopter pickup, they may be putting the Lifestealer as a solo laner. With the Windrunner and the Visage as tri-lane supports with Nature's Prophet mid. That would be my guess.
They might do the Gyrocopter mid, because Gyrocopter is agility, so it doesn't matter if OD traps him, he's not going to lose any damage, and his flat cannon will be able to harass the OD if he gets a ward up this hill here. Ready. But anyway, let's run through the players just very quickly. For the Neo ES G7 side, we've got Kenji on the Furion, we have got Leo playing the Nakes, Gyrocopter is being played by Show T, Kaylee is playing the Visage, and Windrunner is being played by VKT Heart MNL. MNL, yes.
On the side of the die for Crew, we have Aikido 181 on the Nyx Assassin, Bleak on the Bane, JNTNT on the Outworld Devourer, and Queen of Pain being played by Joku, with the final player Real on the Razor. We're gonna actually...
He has Big Nightmare up, so if he can catch a hero, there might be a first blood here. He decides to cut through the tree, but no, not going to catch him. So looking at the items also, looks like they are going to be running an aggressive tri-lane, with the Queen of Pain top lane, OD mid. Conversely, Furion's going to be off lane, laning against that Queen of Pain. Nakes is going to be mid against the OD? Is that really how they're laning?
I think he might be going off lane. And the and the Furion's going mid. I think they're trying to decide now. The Lifestealer has been pulled a lot. So yeah, I think they're just having a discussion now. It looks like the next is going to be going mid.
And Razor picks up that invisibility rune first. He has got the Static Link level 1. So they might try... Actually, that's another thing. Static Link plus Nightmare. You're just going to be able to take all of their damage while they're just standing there Nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. And then a follow-up stun as well once it ends. They're not going to be hitting for anything.
This is going to be completely combo reliant. If there's any miscommunication, if they Nightmare one and link the other, or if he stuns straight after the Nightmare or something like that, this lane could go a little, I would say, not so good. But if they do manage to get it off...
Yeah, it'll definitely be something to see if they can continuously get that.
Yeah. Alright.
So just some vision on the Radiant side. Place down a sentry for the D ward. Doesn't look like... Yeah, Nyx rather is going to put a sentry down. No, decides not to.
I think he just walked into there to block the camp.
Yeah.
Rather than planning a ward, which he knows they'll just D-ward instantly, he's going to save himself 100 gold. Just walk straight in there. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Nyx is actually not having that bad of a time. He's Outlast hitting the OD at the moment, which is kind of what you want to see, but he doesn't have very much mana pool. If he gets ganked at all, he's probably going to die because he won't have enough mana pool for Rage in a moment.
Yeah, exactly. I think the Nyx and the Bane can definitely rotate up. He's really, really relying on that Rage if he's in that mid-roll, as you said, so I really don't know if he's going to be able to do much once OD starts really spamming out that imprisonment. Sitting at 117 mana now.
Yeah, and that's only with level 1 or level 2 tribe now, but yeah. Oh well, we'll see how they lean this out. They might be intending on just winning the trial in a bot lane and then rotating their supports mid to help out. Anyway, Enfeeble is going on the gyrocopter. He already has an incredibly low base damage of 54. Minus that 30, he's going to have a very, very hard time last hitting.
Even worse.
And even if he does use a flat...
Yep.
Using the flat cannon to harass isn't going to... he pushed the lane forward using that flat cannon to try and get some harassment off, but now he's going to be doing him easily 20 damage, even if he does try and harass.
Yeah, it's something that they can definitely do to shut him down in this lane. Of course, Enfeeble does have quite a high mana cost, sitting at 95 at level 1, so he's only able to get 2 or 3 casts off. But Bane does have 4 clarities, and it looks like a ring of Basilius has been picked up by Razor, so definitely something that they've thought of going into this tri-lane. Meanwhile, Nyx is going to body block the camp again.
No, he doesn't want them to be able to pull. They suspect a ward because the camp has been blocked.
And Nyx starting to fall behind the OD a tiny bit as the Astral Imprisonments come fast and furious. He's already up at what, plus 24 intelligence. But Nyx is still going to be able to find a room, so still doing a bit of work in that mid lane. Yeah, it looks like as soon as Bane's noticing the flat cannon coming out, he just enfeebles the gyrocopter straight away.
Yep. It's not a bad strategy. And his OD is actually out of mana in mid lane, so Nyx might get a break soon. Poor OD must not be getting very many procs on his Essence Aura.
Yeah, and without a buckler, of course, because it is so early, there's no way to get those kind of cheap procs, apart from using the Astral Imprisonment, which will have another one in about 10 seconds.
Just having a quick look up at top lane, Furion seems to be having the time of his life. Queen of Pain has got a couple of last hits, but Furion is vastly outlast hitting her, and he's got 12 denies already. He's picked up his Bazzy Ring, and he's going to be just doing a bit of damage on this tower, trying to make some space.
The denies are definitely very important against that Queen of Pain, who relies so much on experience to really get started in the early game.
Yeah.
Nyx just doing a one hit of harass damage with the Invis rune, but I think at the moment it's just more rune denial, so the OD can't get anything at all. But OD hasn't opted for a bottle at all.
Top tower, you know the drill.
So
he's just gone straight for the Tranquil Boots. He wants to proc some Essence Auras so he can keep harassing.
Definitely quite a passive game played so far with a tri-lane versus tri-lane situation. But the experience is starting to take a little bit of a toll. We already see Radiant ahead by about 250, 300, so not too great at this point, but they're starting the pulls now. They pulled through, so it's going to be a whole wave denied by the Radiant supports there. With everything being split 3 ways on the die, they're going to start to need to get kills, or really their tri-lane's just failed.
Yeah, they're really... I mean, so level-dependent heroes. I mean, even with the Bane pickup, you would have hoped they'd pick something like I don't know, someone who doesn't need levels. What's a support that doesn't need levels? THD or something. He's really effective without levels. But they go for the Bane who needs level 6. Oh, an initiation of bot lane. Windrunner does go for the Shackle power shot. Gets a sleep off, but it looks like Bane is going to fall for First Blood.
Soul Assumption and Rocket Barrage doing a lot of damage. They're going to chase after the
Fury
Nyx.
is going to TP in. Going on that Nyx. Nyx is going to just TP out in front of them though.
And that's going to allow a bit of time for the Queen of Pain to get some last hits at top. So a nice little move there by the Nyx is going to waste a lot of time of Nature's Prophet, who's going to have to either walk all the way up, or it may look like he's just going to take some jungle creeps. So he has skilled the Treants up quite a bit. Not sure whether he's just going to sack the top lane and go jungle for a while and get up some early items, or if he'll return there after just going back to base and waiting for that TP cooldown.
And I have to say that was a good play by Nyx in that he grabbed a TP scroll. Even though it's only, what, would have been 5 minutes in the game, he had a TP scroll in his inventory, and that shows really good map awareness by him. that he knew, you know, he might have to TP to help an ally out, or alternatively, like the Queen of Pain if that Fury decided to dive. But alternatively, he can use it as an escape. And a lot of people don't bother buying TP scrolls until later in the game, but carrying one from quite early on, if you're going to need that mobility, is, you know, a really good choice. So I like that.
Yeah, exactly. And he already knew that the shackle shot had been thrown out and Windrunner wasn't chasing him, so it was a worry-free TP away from him.
Middle is missing.
Lifestealer sitting very low on his mana, just really getting harassed out by this OD, who's really started to pull away now, sitting at 37 and 10.
Yeah. I mean, Nex has got his phase boots up. We might see him run back to base to get his mana up and then go for a gank, but I don't know how much more he can do at mid lane.
Yeah, I think if they rotate the Gyro in, as you suggested earlier, it may be slightly better for them, and for Gyro as well. Might be able to get slightly more than against this enfeebling Bane.
Yeah.
Nyx currently sitting at the edge of the trees, might look to wrap around, but I think it's a little bit dangerous initiating into the team with the shackle shot still up, as well as the grave chill.
I think we're going to see something on top maybe. Both the Quap and the Furion are low enough to get a kill on each other. Oh no, Quap decides to use her nuke to just farm the wave a bit.
Yeah, she really needs to go back to base for some regen if she's going to go around.
I know, she's got a bottle up now.
Courier comes in and saves the day for Quap.
Yeah.
Has been spotted out by Nature's Prophet, so we're not going to see any surprise through the trees gangs. And it does allow it to be a bit more aggressive and push that Furion back.
Ball's coming out.
And back. Razor's already gone for the braces, so it looks like he's going to be building into an early drums just for that movement speed to keep up and keep that static link going. Has decided to put one in the passive as well, so not maxing Plasma Field either. So it's definitely his job this game is going to be just denying damage to the Gyrocopter or Nyx.
Radiant's
Yeah.
towers coming.
Well, I mean, I think that's how the best way to play the Razor in this game. You know, maxing his nuke is okay, but compared to the static link is just so incredibly powerful in the early game.
Yeah, and
it's got a great deny effect in the late game.
And the defensive way they've been playing this tri-lane, it probably wouldn't do him any good either. They don't have a very high kill potential against a Windrunner that can Windrun away, or a Grave Chill Visage that can also run away. The only one that they could really catch out is the Gyrocopter, and even then, if they get in close, the Rocket Barrage is going to hurt quite a lot. He doesn't really need the auto attack damage when he has rockets to the face.
Yeah. I really feel a lot of sympathies for Snakes.
I think we've all been there against an OD.
Yeah. It's not nice.
I think one nice, neat little trick that I've seen against a Magnus that went against an OD was whenever OD did spam out that imprisonment, he'd use a bottle charge and get back to full mana, so when it did wear off and he started roaming for ganks, he would then have a full mana pool.
That's definitely not a bad idea.
Dire's lost the top tower.
And the push from Trance has been
too.
too strong. Nature's Prophet's going to TP back. Looks like he's done with the top lane for now and is going to farm some creeps, or possibly even look for some initiate on the bottom lane.
Yeah, I think he's just going to keep his farm up. He knows that going top is a little bit unsafe at the moment. Queen of Pain has got a regeneration rune as well as her ultimate. So I think he's just going to leave that, farm the jungle, and just use his ability to AFK farm in the jungle to keep his eye on the map.
Exactly. He has
Radiant's
gone for
mid tower
treads
could use a
first.
hand.
Also a bracer, so going kind of a very strength-oriented build, probably just to stop that kind of harass damage from the Queen of Pain being as deadly as if he didn't have it. Of course, the Shadow Strike and Scream being a giant pain. He's going to throw out some auto attacks now, but I think Queen's just going to blink and throw out the regen, which he does do.
Yep.
boots and run.
I think what we really need to look up is to see if Kenji goes into the mech or something like a Shadow Blade next, whether he's going to be in team fights or he's going to go for more that split push build. Or Queen of Pain.
Initiation on top lane. Queen of Pain does use the Scream and she's hitting him down. She does manage to score the kill. Windrunner TP's in, but just a second too late.
One charge is keeping Nature's Prophet alive for a little bit more then, but it wasn't enough time that was bought for the Windrunner to come in, so unfortunately dying too early.
I had the Furion selected during that, but I was looking on bot lane and I was like, hey, he just dropped half health.
Yeah, she blinked forward very aggressively after that regen rune.
Smoke gank on top. Hang on, what are they doing? It's just a Windrunner up here. He is level 6, but the smoke's going to wear off. She hasn't got vision limit. She is going forward. This might be a kill on the Windrunner. Yep, here they go.
No Fiend's Grip on me, so
Windrunner's running back, but it's a little bit too late.
The Windrunner has been popped off, so the Sleep's going to stop it, and that's a lot of nuke damage coming out on the Windrunner. She's going to go down to a nice combo from the Dire there.
Radiant's mid tower.
Oh, I was just watching that. The Nakes actually got experience when he was in the prison.
Ah, maybe it's changed from Dota 1.
Yeah, well, he was definitely getting experience. Oh, actually, Furion, a little bit of trouble, but he does TP out. Yeah, sorry, that was... I always thought he didn't get experience, but he definitely did just then.
Possibly a bug. Maybe they've changed the way it works. But no, I'm quite certain because it removed them from the map in the original Dota completely, so if you were in that imprisonment, you just got nothing.
Mechanics have changed, though.
Yeah. It looks like
Anyway, Nax has got his drum up.
Yeah, they're going to put some pressure on the mid, because they know there are 4 heroes down at bottom at the moment. Spotting out OD... Oh no, they haven't, sorry, that's the Dire's Sentry Ward. But just some good map awareness, I think. Spotting when they have a chance. And I would assume that this Nature's Prophet's going to go for a Shadow Blade. It looks like he's been more active in pushing than he wants to be in team fights so far.
And Nick's playing a very, very aggressive TP, but they have got the OD there who's going to get the trap off on the Nags if he can keep the vision. Can he keep it? Yes, he does manage to get the trap off. Queen of Pain has blinked in. Nyx is just standing there and wait. Going to get the stun, followed up by the nuke, and bye-bye Nyx. I'm going to... No, they were thinking about going on that Razor bot, but he's just going to run back.
Dire's mid tower.
Meanwhile, Windrunner in top is possibly going to be in trouble. Oh. Queen of Pain goes in, but the Furion backs up that Windrunner. Preempted backup.
Gotta say, Kenji's using his teleporter movement quite well. Even if he has a failed teleport, he's always very quick to go into the jungle and get some experience. So it's never really truly wasted. So picking up what he can get, even if they disappear.
Radiant's gone and fortified.
Oh, this tower on 9 health. Next is just gonna walk in and get the deny. Odie's not even gonna try to contest that. This game is very, very low on the kills, but
yeah, a lot
they
more
just seem to be
passive
slowly
than
killing
yesterday.
the towers. Yeah.
Yeah, both teams
that's what one.
managing to take down. Actually, sorry, the
Four
Radiant are
towers.
1 tower ahead. Oh no,
No, they're not.
no, not
Are they?
even.
Oh, yeah,
No,
they-
they're 2 towers ahead. Because the Radiant only have the Dire Other have only taken down that middle tower, which was denied as well. So
Yeah.
if we take a look at the gold, we can see the Radiant are around 1.7k ahead, and that'll be purely from tower gold. So the Dire is still very much in it.
I'm just kind of waiting for this Razor to get a lot of experience. I played with Rio quite a lot in pubs, and he's a full farming player. He'll pick anti-mage and his AFK farm for 50 minutes, so I'm kind of expecting him to pull out the AFK in himself soon. Go for a bit more of a late game build, but
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, I think
at the moment he's been pretty...
yeah, he's been pretty passive so far. Does have the drums. He's going for phase boots as well, so he is definitely going for that gotta go fast Razor build. We might see something like a Shadow Blade or a Yule's thrown out. Static Link does also work through Yule's, as well as invisibility, so you can start chucking out that Static Link and then go invis from Shadow Blade and just follow them.
The standard Razor build I've been seeing a lot seems to have been something like a BKB or a Manta, and then straight Arcanim's Refresher.
Yeah, definitely. The Axe Refresher is very, very deadly in team fights. It just absolutely melts the towers as well as the heroes. It's just insane how fast those zaps go out, especially when there are two clouds.
The Radiant lost the top tower.
And then the Daigo catching up on their towers. 4-man pushing the top while Razor kind of hangs out on bot lane.
Kenji unfortunately blocks 2 of his own camps with the tree hunts and his own movement right as the timer respawns. And still has 1.4k gold up, but still hesitant to buy anything at this point. I'm guessing
maybe he's going to go for a Hex Rush?
He could. It would definitely help against
I don't know if I'd agree with that choice, but...
Yeah. Because I think they have too many heroes that can initiate in. You can have a Force OD coming through, or a Blink Queen of Pain, or the Vendetta Nyx. There are just too many targets that you would need to lock down straight away. I think it would probably be better served by trying to go that split push build, because they don't have particularly strong counter push. The Queen of Pain, Scream, and the Plasma Field are really their best counter push spells.
Like, if he's going to go for the split push build, usually people go for a Midas in the first couple of items, but he decided to go for that Bracer and the survivability, so... I mean, he's now disassembled his Bazzi ring and picked up a Sage's Mask, so... I mean, he might be going for a Vlad's or an Orchid.
Probably going for the Orchid to combat the OD and the Quap.
Yeah. A nice TP in and catch that Quap off a couple of times would help put the game in their favour. But the Queen of Pain actually is very, very close to her own Orchid. She just needs a recipe. She's eyeing down that Windrunner. That Windrunner might be in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, that Windrunner is probably going to... No, Queen of Pain is... Oh, there she goes. Blinks in, screams, Sonic Wave. I was about to say Wave of Terror again.
The
Sonic
Quap
Wave.
of Pain doesn't throw out the ulti.
Yeah. Quap of Pain will not use the Wave of Terror on the Windrunner of Windrunner.
And Windrunner has picked up a Buckler, so she'll most likely be the mech carrier for this team. So Furion is free to get that Orchid.
Yeah, she has rotated in a little bit more of a farmer. Actually, I mean, if you look at the creep scores on the Radiant compared to the Dire, it's a little bit more spread out compared to the poor Bane and Nyx Assassin, who are on 6 and 1 respectively. And we do see a 4-man smoke gank down here. Looks like they're going to go straight through the jungle there.
They're just going to wrap around the tower. The Radiant, knowing something's up, Gyro and Windrunner very defensively placed in the trees. The Sentry Ward is there, so they're going to spot out this Razor and Bane. They're going to walk right over it.
Dyer's mid tower.
So hopefully they're paying attention. We do see TPs in. I think they're trying to bait it. Doesn't throw out the Rage. Nope, now does. Oop, and my Dota's crashed.
Your Dota's crashed? Alright, well I'll try and catch up. Next, jumped inside the gyrocopter before the gyrocopter died. Razor's running for his life. Queen of Pain does throw out the Sonic Wave, gets another scream off. Nyx is dead, Visage is dead. Somewhat bought out, possibly, and TP'd back in. Nyx Assassin is running away, and OD might be in a little bit of trouble now. He has got Astral, but he decides not to cast it, and Nyx TP's out on about 10 health. It was quite low then. Who did buy out then? Yeah, so that was a buyout by the Nyx, and he got shut down. Oh, sorry, the gyrocopter. He got shut down very early in that team fight, and came back in to get 2 kills, 1 kill. It was definitely worth it though. And now Furion might be in trouble. He has picked up the Shadow Amulet. That Bane suspects he's around here somewhere. He's going for a little bit of a walk to try and get that. You back in the game?
I am in about 2 seconds.
Looks like you're talking in game, so should be right.
It's just loading up.
So yeah, it looks like Furion will be going for a bit more of a split pusher build. He has grabbed the Shadow Amulet. So I think he's going to go straight for the Shadow Blade. That'll be interesting. See how that goes out. And while we have a brief lull in all the vicious combat in this 10-kill game at 21 minutes. Yeah, Golden Experience are pretty even. Almost dead even, in fact. It's been going up and down a little bit, but not enough to make any significant difference. Gyrocopter and Windrunner, very similar situation. Eva's just hiding in the trees here while Queen of Pain nukes that wave down. Her Orchid is up. It's probably going to see her try and go for a blink in if she gets the opportunity. And Queen of Pain has got the stun chasing after her. She blinks away, but she's going to get stuck in the trees and stunned in the trees now. The sentry is dropped by Bane. On Bane or Nyx? Might have been Nyx. Preparing for any kind of counter gank.
Razor has rotated in as well, and he has picked up the Ogre Club, so it looks like he will be going for the BKB as you suggested. Definitely a wise choice against all the lockdowns that can possibly stop him from being in range for Link. Oh, the Orchid comes out on the Visage, gets stunned up straight away. An excellent two-man shackle by Windrunner, but it won't be enough to save his friend. Razor throws out the Link on Windrunner. Nyx is getting in a bit of trouble. Bane throws out the sleep on Razor and throws out the Fiend's Grip on Nyx, who infested to a creep, jumps out, kills off the Bane. The nice scream there by the Quap, and the Sanity's Eclipse thrown out by the OD before he dies. Gyrocopter on 20 health, trying to get away from this Queen of Pain. Nyx has found her. She has Blink up, and she's just going to be able to run away from this fight.
I have to say that Gyrocopter Rocket Barrage is MVP of this game. For
nice
the Radiant.
deny coming out from the Nyx. Queen of Pain searching for him. Did have him orchided up. He's hiding very well in the trees. Still just sitting there. They know he's there because the Visage Familiars are protecting him. But he's going to be able to get away. Oh no! Nyx comes out, but Nyx throws out the Rage instantly. Nice quick fingers there from him. It's going to run out now. Queen of Pain has Blink in 1 second. Is she going to go for it? No. The Furion comes through, and he has picked up a Shadow Blade, actually. Oh, it does spot out. Oh, just not enough to get that Queen of Pain. And is that Shackle Shot going to hit us still?
It is. It's going to be flying up the map right now. There it goes.
Oh, it doesn't latch. Come on, Windrunner, get better. So yeah, Nature's Prophet does actually opt for that Shadow Blade after disassembling the Basilius. So not deciding to go for the lockdown on the Queen of Pain, and yeah, just going for more of the split push.
Well, the mech is going to be up on the Windrunner very soon. She has got 900 gold. She's probably just waiting to buy it for whatever reason. And she's stacking these neutrals for the Gyrocopter to come farm in a minute. And the Gyrocopter might actually be in... No, he's fine. He is going to be okay.
Queen of Pain not thinking she can get the kill without the ultimate there, but does force him off the lane. The Radiant have been stacking camps up for this Gyrocopter, who is going to get a couple of camps now with Flat Cannon as well as the cooldown being used to take down this stacked hard camp. So really trying to get the Gyrocopter back into the farm game. He is sitting at 4th in the net worth currently, so not too far behind, but the Queen of Pain is starting to get quite big at this point. Sitting at 2k above the Nyx.
Quite good for himself as well.
And OD has finished up that mech, and it looks like, and the 4 staff, looks like he's going for the a BKB of his own. Most likely not going for that Aghanims because the Aghanims upgrade on OD is quite pitiful.
Kind of watching this Gyrocopter. He has managed to score that BKB. He's finally got the farm up, and Windrunner's got the mech, so he might see some play soon. And Nyx has also got a Shadow Blade up in a quarterstaff, so he might be going for an Orchid as well. I mean, Orchid is going to be a really strong item in this game, so if that Nyx can get like more utility kind of ganking style Shadow Blade Orchid build, he's going to be, yeah, he's going for an Orchid or a Refresher. I'm assuming an Orchid.
I don't think he'd be going
double
for a
infest
Refresher.
inside
Double Rage, 12 seconds of Magic Immunity wouldn't be too bad, but I don't think he has the mana pool to support it.
Pretty sure it would be the best thing ever. Yeah, this will be interesting.
Nyx still being very poor.
The die can say this stacking here.
Yeah, it is spotted out. The Nyx might be able to afford Mana Boot soon. Oh, he can do it now. with his poor 1,700 net worth. Doing the proper job of a 5, sacrificing everything for his carries.
This Queen of Pain is lurking in the bushes here. What a creeper.
Has also got up the ultimate orb, so it looks like she's going to go into the scythe now. It's going to be some good lockdown if she can get it off with the instant cast before the Nyx can rage.
Yeah. But even if she can't get the nakes, it'll be really useful to help pick off that Furion, because that Furion is going to be going for the split push. If she can manage to hex him and get some kills on him, it'll be really, really helpful.
Yeah, even being able to chain her own silence and then hex as it's about to run off. So some nice kill potential coming out from the Queen of Pain on her lonesome, as well as the massive teamfight potential she's already shown. The Radiant...
She's getting very close to that hex. She's only 2,002.
The Radiant very grouped up. They've been going as 4 mainly, and we do see a smoke coming out now. No dire wards in the vicinity to spot it out. So it looks like they might try to wrap around on mid. There are pings.
There is a sentry in mid, so looks like they're gonna have to go around that route.
Fury.
Who go next is gonna go for the initiation. Fury TP'd in as well.
I think it's
they
been
will catch sight of that
out.
Nixon, just go straight on here, but he is going to ultimate. They don't have any reveal for him at the moment. OD gets caught next, but Force stuffs himself out. Is he going to trap himself? No, he's going to fall before he can use the trap on himself. There was a nice pickup by them. 5-man gank, but they did manage to catch a kill on the carry OD.
Yeah, it was very good. Of course, the imprisonment being on cooldown, because he did use it for the kind of dissuasion on the Nyx assassin earlier in that fight. And the Radiant, yeah, definitely going for that OD instead of the Nyx, who was still in that sentry range after he got imprisoned. It looks like they're going to try and turn this into a push. No, they're going to back off. The Queen of Pain has been still lurking in the bushes, looking for a chance to strike.
The creepy girl. Alright, looks like Gyrocopter's going to go maybe kill this stack finally. I'm thinking he might go for a pure DPS item next. I'm hoping he's going to go for something like an MKB, as I personally am not a fan of the butterfly pickup on Gyrocopter. I mean, it's very, very popular, but I don't think it's that good.
Yeah, especially with the nerfs to
Judgmental Lily coming
cannon.
through.
No, that's I completely agree with you there. With the flat cannon nerf, with the cooldown being increased by 10 seconds, it doesn't really sound like much, but it's very noticeable if you've played Gyrocopter before and after the patch. And really the flat cannon is where most of his damage comes through, so you really want to maximize those 6 shots rather than have the evasion and just normal auto attacks being a bit more powerful. We're going to see a smoke up from the
looks like they are going to smoke into the Roshan.
And it's not going to be spotted out by the Radiant as well. The Sarge's Familiars are nearby, but it looks like they're just going to be farming up neutrals. And with the Arcane Orb of OD, they should be able to take down this Roshan probably about another minute. They don't have the best damage here with the 2 supports and the OD. I think they're just there for a bit of aggro juggling. The mech even popped up by OD.
They're just gonna completely uncontested Roshan. I don't think Neorias had any clue that was happening.
No, it was a nice little smoke in by the Dire there, knowing that there were no sentry wards
I'm just gonna have a
in that general area.
quick go through of the items, just so I've got a short break in all the action. So Furion, he has got his Shadow Blade. He's got 3,000 gold in the bank, and we're going to see him picking up a Necronomicon. So it looks like he is going to be going for that split push build you mentioned. Next is going to have his Orchid up very, very soon, assuming he doesn't get picked off now. Gyrocopter, 2.4k in the bank. He's either going to be going for an Eagle Song or some kind of DPS item using a Demon Edge. Those would be my 2 guesses. Visage got his Medallion of Courage. That's about it though in the mana boots. And Winrunner has got her mech up too, and she's just going for a support build. Not much on the Nyx, just the mana boots really. Earn up on the Bane, that's about it. OD is going for his BKB, and he has actually farmed it. He's just waiting for use of the Courier, and he's got that Aegis as well, which means he's going to be able to just kind of dive into the middle of team fights and do some damage before he dies. As past few team fights, he's been dying very, very quickly, as you can probably see by his 1 to 3 score. Queen of Pain, she has got a Lincoln. She didn't decide to go for that Hex. I think she felt the Lincolns is going to be a bit more helpful against all the stuns they have, and it probably wasn't worth buying a BKB, since she probably won't be the target of that many stuns. They have got a lot of primary target heroes. And Razor is going for that Arganims now that he has got his BKB up. Thank you for letting me go through that.
That's alright. But no, definitely quite a bit of a lull in in action at the moment. Kenji's just farming creeps from the low ground even, not even willing to go into the jungle fully. I mean, he's going to get a nice juicy wave at top as well. But the Radiant definitely just really sticking close by, not feeling confident going out on this map. They've warded mid quite comprehensively. It looks like Dire are going to smoke up again. So probably looking to go into the jungle, but Radiant very defensive. All
They've got a smoke as well.
Ooh, we might see a smoke.
Windrunner's holding a smoke.
We do see sentries dropped along the way.
I like how they're using the chance to just go drop some wards, because a lot of the time supports just don't have the opportunity to ward, and they know they need the map vision, but walking out alone is just asking to die. So it's a good way to utilize that smoke, and even if they don't manage to score a kill, they're still getting that extra vision in the jungle here that they want. So next time they might be able to score a kill.
And the Radiant do know that they've just come out of smoke there with the sentry and D-warding at top, so they're going to pop their own smoke and go along, but they do know the sentry's there, so they're going to smartly go around the other path.
Dire's mid tower's having technical difficulties.
Looks like
Windrunner is leading the charge. I feel like the Furion might TP top and try and bait them out. He is using his trees to scout out, and he knows they're in the jungle there, but he also knows that he's got 4 allies smoked up behind him, ready to back him up in case of a team fight.
The Aegis OD might not be the best target, but now Razor showing himself in lane, and we're going to see the smoke dispelled. The cooldown gets thrown out. Of course, the slow going through the BKB. Razor might be in a bit of trouble. One more auto attack's going to do the job, and he gets taken out by Gyrocopter. Meanwhile, the Fiend's Grip being thrown out, but Bane being so weak this early on just gets taken down very quickly by the auto attack damage. Nyx trying to escape. OD throws out the BKB, Insanity's Eclipse only hits on Lifestealer, who just infests into the Visage, pops out, gets his health back. So a nice use of the smoke there, picking off the Razor and the Bane. And Nature's Prophet is going to push this bottom tower. Is only about 100 gold off his Necro 3, which is going to be a very nice pickup, especially with the True Sight to counter.
Poor Razor just... Even though he popped that BKB, phase boots, and he didn't use a drum charge, but he did have the drum passive, still couldn't manage to catch a break and score a kill. Create a pain. Just gonna let the Furion TP out.
Yeah, very unfortunate that the first strike from Gyro's cooldown hit him. One of the best things about it is the slow applies through BKB. And it was enough to slow him down enough for the flat cannon damage to catch up as Gyro was hitting creeps and the rest of his team. Good news is the OD still has his Aegis, and he's going to have that for another few minutes. But still not something that you want to be trading.
Yeah, well, the Queen of Pain is kind of what's keeping them in the game at the moment. I mean, previously, the Golden Experience is still pretty even, only 3,000. This is 35 minutes in, where normally you're starting to see a huge gap in Golden Experience, but this Queen of Pain is so over-leveled compared to the rest of the heroes. She was last time I checked. Where's your level? There we go. Yeah, she's still out-leveling everyone else in the game, as well as having the highest net worth, so at the moment, I think she's what's keeping Crew in the game.
Yeah, Kenji has picked up his Necro 3, and we're also going to see a gem pick up on the Nyx, so possibly trying to get a bit of map control back here. They've already de-warded their the high hill just near where the top T2 was, and going to take out some sentry wards as well. So a nice little pickup by Ikado 181. Trying to secure some vision against the Furion, who's going to be a bit of a menace.
Yeah. Well, Roshan is reclaiming the Aegis now, but he did not actually get to use it at all, which is probably a good thing given they've been losing the team fights, but I don't know. They might have been able to utilize that slightly better.
Yeah, Queen of Pain has picked up a double damage rune, so not sure if she'll try to do anything with it. They do have an offensive ward up in the jungle still, so they should be able to spot out the Windrunner and Visage. Nature's Prophet really deciding where he wants to TP, cancelling it quite a few times, and it looks like he's just going to high ground farm the Dire Ancients. see. I think that my mic may be off after I reconnected. Yeah, it was. So I haven't been in Dota TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I've just been talking to
settings
myself,
reset.
everyone. It's cool.
No, don't worry. I have been here. And if you're on the stream, which is twitch.tv/specdota, then you would have heard everything. And
Or
if
like
you're
my
on
name.
Lily's as well, twitch.tv/theporcelainlily, then you would have heard me as well through Skype.
Yay for Skype technology. So fun. Wow. Such a slow game. Alright, Nakes is going for a Basher now. Probably the best item he could get. He's got a fair amount of damage, and all he really needs now is something to go through that BKB to stop the DPS of the OD, the Razor. That's his name. And the Razor.
And Gyro did pick up that Demon Edge, so most likely going to see an MKB coming out from him. But still quite a ways off it. Doesn't have anything on the crew.
He's not that far.
800 gold.
He's got the javelin sitting on the ground.
On the ground, that's why.
Yeah. I saw him pick it up earlier. I was like, he does have it. I saw him buying it.
No one destroyed it, I swear. Roshan will be back in
Nyx
2 minutes. So Nyx is going to go out in Vendetta and spot out the wards. Possibly not going to actually de-ward it, just going to spot if there are any sentries around because they might be able to just smoke in again. But no, Queen of Pain does just take it out. And finds another double damage rune.
And the Visage, though, is camping that. They are ready and waiting for that Roshan spawn.
Yeah, really
Nyx is
knowing that
really
they're not going to be in
aggressive
any team fights anytime soon, so just using the familiars as mobile wards. It's the one
It's
useful
Queen of
thing.
Pain. She's got 5k in the bank almost. I feel like she should go for a Hex, but I mean, she might actually decide to go for a DPS build. Might see her pick up an MKB or a Dezo herself. Or a Mjolnir, whatever.
I'm a big fan of the Mjolnir, especially if Gyrocopter isn't picking up that butterfly. Just because it gives you a bit more push, some nice chain lightning in the fights, and if your Razor's getting focused, you can chuck up the static lightning on him as well, or the lightning field.
Yeah.
Even
Razor has picked
more.
up his Arcanims actually. So that's going to be quite helpful in the team fights, and he's level 16. So that might be the tipping point to winning a team fight for them.
And he still does have all 4 charges on his drums as well, so going to be very zippy in the next team fight. I guess that's really a testament to how slow the game's been going. Almost 40 minutes in and a Razor still has 4 drum charges.
Is that due to the Razor's choices though?
Possibly.
No, it's been a very interesting game.
And they might want to push
I mean,
towers with the Aghanims as well, because of course that upgrade does give it tower attacking abilities. So they finally have a way to push down a tower. They are grouping up. I think the Fury and suspect something is his Treants aren't getting counter
Here we
pushed.
go, smoke ain't coming. They have actually caught sight of the Nyx, who's going to pop his ultimate, try and get away, but they have got Gem on the Windrunner. Haste is going to be picked up by the Nyx. Is he going to chase down this Odie and Bane, who are sitting alone? Bane is just going to TP out right in front of them, and Odie just goes the other path. But they do actually see the Queen of Pain. She's fine. She's just going to blink away and run away. But that was a really nice pick off. Roshan has actually spawned now. If they can kill one more before that team fight, that's going to be possibly even game over. And Silence does go off on the Queen of Pain. She does get stunned. Razor goes in, gets the link off, but isn't going to be enough.
Only manages to steal 56 damage. A nice force out by the OD. The cooldown going to be missing on him. And they're going to try and hold this high ground. The Queen of Pain did buy back, so I think they're going to be able to hold it down to 2.2k gold, but did also pick up that ultimate orb, so it looks like she's going to be building into that Hex.
Yep.
So the buyback now on cooldown for Queen of Pain, after just being caught out by that Haste Orchid Nakes, which is a build that's been working out quite well for him.
It might actually be happening again. The Nakes is going in. Is he going to get the silence off? He is going to get the silence off. His Queen of Pain, if she dies again, that might be GG. Yep, she gets bashed and does not manage to escape. So that's the Queen of Pain dead without buyout. Razor's going in. He managed to get the link off as well as BKB. He's
doing as much damage as he can to that gyrocopter, but he just doesn't do enough. And Odie is on low health already. His ultimate pops. Still nobody dead. Nyx is gonna die. Nyx is running for his life, but he manages to get away on a mere 20 health before getting nuked down by the Razor. And Furion is stuck in the middle of it all. He is now running for his life with Razor and the OD hitting him down, trying to get the kill him, and he is gonna fall.
So yeah,
so
nice.
that could.
Very back and forth there. It might lead into a Roshan here for the Dire if they choose to take it.
I think it's gonna have to.
I think it's the only chance.
And if they don't take that Roshan now, they are gonna lose it.
They are positioning themselves for it, and
they're going for that Rosh.
Yeah, using the gem that the Banes picked up, they've dewatered and they're going straight in. Nyx and Prophet still down for a good 30 seconds, and they should be able to kill him off before the Prophet's able to respawn with the Nyx inside him and TP into the Roshan pit. They might be cutting it close actually. The OD getting stunned up quite a bit.
They really do want to take that Roshan down as fast as they can. There you go, they do manage to get an OD, picks up the Aegis yet again.
Tougher still.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Sanity's Eclipse not doing as much damage as you would have hoped. Not getting off too many imprisonments before he's throwing it out, and going for the ultimate orb before the Mystic Staff means it's a little bit underpowered at the moment. He does have enough for that Mystic Staff, but will probably be saving up for buyback. Which he does have.
He's going to need that buyback. Especially since Queen of Pain's buyback is on cooldown for another 3 minutes. That means that, you know, if that Queen of Pain dies and OD dies and he doesn't have a buyout, it's going to be a very sad game.
The Nature's Prophet, meanwhile, has picked up the ultimate orb, so he's either going to be going for a Scythe of his own or possibly a Manta style just to add a little bit more push. I think probably going to be going for the Scythe, and yes, he does pick up the Mystic Staff, so he's going to have that in another 400 gold.
And just briefly, I'm going to have a quick look at the net worth as well as the gold and experience graph. For the net worth, you can see Queen of Pain and Odie still at the top. They haven't been quite dominating team fights like they would like, but they still are obviously out farming Neo ESG7. In terms of gold, it is actually in favor of the Radiant, possibly due to the extra towers that the Radiant has gotten, but it's only about 2,500 lead, which is not that much. And same with experience, it's spiked up to about 6,000, but it's dropped back down again after that team fight in mid and the Roshan pick up by Crew.
Nyx.
I'm done. Carry on.
Nyx is looking to get his Abyssal, has 2.5k up. But I think in this game, both teams are really saving for their buybacks to get back into these fights. Although that being said, Outworld Devourer picking up his Scythe. Definitely doesn't have buyback, but does have the Aegis, so really going to rely on that in a team fight. And going to go all in and buy up the Scythe, and it looks like they might try and force something at bottom. We've got 2 heroes smoked up and Nyx under Vendetta with a gem. It looks like they might be able to spot out this Gyro. He's just tower hugging at the moment. And he's going to back off just enough. It being nighttime, they're not going to be able to spot him out either. And Gyro even TPing away as well.
He suspects something is up by the fact that everyone is off the map.
Nyx does throw down the ward, but it gets instantly spotted by the Radiant. The pings come out, so they know he's in the area. And I don't think the Dire really want to trade in a situation like this. Both teams grouped up on different lanes, but the Dire still having to get through a T2, and a Furion with a Necro 3 is not something that you want to really be pushing up against.
Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
But
Not to mention a Gyrocopter with an MKB and a Windrunner.
But it still looks like they're going to try and trade it. They're taking a lot of damage on this tower. Oh, Nyx comes in and gets silenced instantly and taken down. The gems on the ground. The the Link and the Fiend's Grip coming out on the next, but he infests in, jumps out. Gyrocopter really cleaning up with his Flak Cannon. And a big misplay by the Dire there, trying to trade, then TP in 1x1 right in front of the Radiant. This is probably going to be the top racks. Ooh, Queen of Pain also gets trapped inside the Sprout and slept. A nice Oh, actually, the imprisonment thrown out by the OD might buy us some time. The Sanity's Eclipse thrown out. Doesn't manage to kill off anyone yet. The Nake's very low. Razor trying to get in as well. The Soul Assumption just not enough to get him through. Pop for the OD, who's now chasing, trying to get something out of this, but he's not going to be able to find anyone. And now he has to be very careful. Gets hexed up. The Shackle won't latch, but the Call Down thrown out as well. The Queen of Pain is back. He manages to get a double kill with an excellent ultimate in Scream. In fact, picks up a triple. And 2 gems lying on the ground outside the Dire base. And Nature's Prophet is going to be able to TP out here. But they do lose the top set of racks.
Yep.
And if we take a look at experience, it's still extremely level. And it looks like the Dire are going to just try and push through mid. If we take a look at buybacks, the Gyrocopter does have buybacks, so you can always come back and defend this push. And with the Nex and Prophet up, they're really the ones that you want in these fights. Windrunner will be back up in 15 seconds as well, but I think they might just let this T2 go. And then leave it. The Prophet does meanwhile try a little bit of a backdoor through middle. The creeps of course already pushed in mid, so it puts the tower down to about half damage already just through those Necro Warriors and Treants. And the Dire do get the T2 in mid.
Quite a hard game for the Dire at the moment. This game has been just a lot of really kind of subtle pushing, complemented by just a few team fights, but 17 to 14 in 50 minutes is really not that many kills, if you think about it. And this Queen of Pain, I'm hoping she sells her bottle soon and grabs the teleport scroll, because against a Furion, when you've got a Hex and an Orchid, that TP scroll is going to be absolutely crucial.
Yeah, exactly. Just shift Q that Hex up and you've instantly caught him. And with the tower being at now just under half health, as soon as the Dire try and start pushing, even if he's dead, a good buyback and TP in through the middle, it's going to be the mid-racks if they're not willing to TP back. So it's a constant threat that they're going to have to deal with when trying to push out. And that's exactly why you pick up the Nature's Prophet.
Looks like Razor might actually be going for a heart now. He has picked up a vitality booster. He's dropping really, really fast in team fights, so he does need a little bit more survivability. And that extra health as well as regeneration will be quite helpful.
Meanwhile, the Radiant are going to push this last remaining outer tower of the Dire. Razor does come forward with a plasma field. And the mech comes out after the last will damage is taken by the OD. This is one of the really annoying aspects about those Necro Warriors.
Smoke has been picked up by Windrunner, has been flown out on the courier at the moment. We might see them kind of smoke up in the bushes around here. Maybe just go straight running up there and try and get a pick off, or there, or
the next
there.
is infested.
Either way,
in the
looks like they're going to go for a smoke. They're trying to scout it out.
Yeah, just using the Sprout for some vision there. Does Shadow Blade up. I think
there's nobody around.
Bottom tower's getting the business.
Yeah, and Nate's just comes out and gets the last hit on the tower. Nate's meanwhile has finished up his Abyssal and still has 2.1k in the bank. So something very scary for the Dire to go against. That lockdown against the Queen of Pain, or the OD when he pops the BKB is going to be really vital. I think the
Spain.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, this Queen of Pain still has not picked up a TP scroll, and it's really annoying me. That empty bottle is... even a full bottle is not going to do that much at 50 minutes, sweetheart. Get a TP scroll. Pet hate of mine.
Nah, she really needs the Scythe. You know, the bottle for the mana regen, the Scythe isn't enough for her. Never enough.
And that, what, 300 health regen?
Yeah, man. Too good, too strong.
Game changing.
At the moment, we have 3 gems. One on the Windrunner, one on the Queen of Pain, and one on the Nyx. So the patch change is making Gem indestructible, certainly showing itself a bit in the games that have been popping up. So many just get dropped onto the ground and no team wants to just leave them. It's interesting that they...
instead of carrying them around.
Yeah, I think the reason for keeping it on the Nyx at the moment is just scouting using Vendetta and finding where the wards are. And of course Queen of Pain being a bit more of the mobile ganker, being able to spot out the Nature's Prophet. Nyx does run into Prophet, but there's not really going to be anything that he can do.
He's just waiting for his Vendetta to... The Razor is on the way over, and so is the Queen of Pain.
Ooh, the Vendetta gets thrown
He does
out.
get the silence off, but they have...
A nice spike Carapace as well, and the Hex comes through from the Queen of Pain. And that's going to be the death of the
He's running for his life.
Oh, Nature's Prophet even buying
Nice
back.
save.
But he's not
He
going
really
to be
wants to
able
get
to
that
get
ultimate
the
kill.
snipe off. The mech coming through from the OD, I believe, yep. So, kept Nyx alive just enough. They do also sweat out. Roshan's going to be coming up very soon. The Radiant positioning themselves outside, even going to farm up the enemy's Ancients. It's going to be up in probably another 2 seconds, maybe a bit more. There we go. And choosing not to deward the Dire ward, even though Windrunner was in the area, the Dire have spotted them out. But it doesn't look like they're going to go for Roshan. They're just going to keep the Familiars up on the cliff to spot it out. There are pings coming out from the gyro.
Ward there.
And they're going to smoke up. They're going to actually leave the ward there as bait. Nyx running around a little. The whole Radiant just sitting there waiting in smoke for the die to move in. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet trying to put some more pressure on top lane. It's a large creep wave coming in, as well as the Necro creeps. And they're going to take that opportunity.
Radiant are going to use this.
Yeah, as soon as the Dire show themselves on top lane, they know they're wide open to take the Roshan.
I do suspect it. They put the smoke up, but it's too late, way too late. And Gyrocopter picks up the Aegis, and Cheese goes onto the Nakes, because that was the third Roshan of the game.
Gyro also with 6.1k gold by a Divine. Ah, he goes for the Butterfly. What a shame. But he's going to be able to completely buy that out as well.
Oh, this Furion might get caught out. Nyx is going to catch sight of him. Furion...
Just Shadow Blading in time. It's going to run out soon.
I think they caught vision of him over here.
Oh, and the
And he
instant
does get
hacks.
caught out by the Nyx. Queen of Pain, there we go. And Furion's Buyout is actually on cooldown at the moment, so they might rotate this into a push.
OD has had to go back to defend from that top lane, pushing in the racks that the Radiant took earlier, taking its toll in the Dire, always having to come back. So they're not going to transition into any kind of push on the bottom just yet. Knowing, possibly not knowing that the Nature's Prophet doesn't have buyback and wanting to be on hand in case he decides to TP in. Gyrocopter does have that Helm of the Dominator, Butterfly, MKB, BKB, Aegis up. He's very, very dangerous now. The flat cannon from him is going to be able to
power
melt
of a
the
late game
supports.
Gyro. So it looks like they're going to just try and do some damage on mid lane. I mean, Gyrocopter does have that Aegis as well as the Cheese being on Nake, so there's not too much they can do, but they know that with this Furion down, it's the best chance they're going to have without, getting a full team wipe to do some damage to the mid lane.
And the MKB is also being picked up by Queen of Pain, so a bit more right-click damage coming out from her, and the Heart is finished up on Razor. So not always the best item against Snakes, but while he's in that BKB, I don't think he gets the Feast extra damage.
The gold and experience graft are just like so close to dead even for a almost 1 hour long game. It's just crazy.
Yeah, for a 55-minute game, that's zero. You may as well just not have them there. And
it's really
even,
just crazy how this game is going.
Yeah, even the net worth, the two teams are constantly leapfrogging each other. OD and Gyro.
Apart from this.
like 50 gold apart.
Bane and Nate. I mean, Nyx.
Sitting at less than 1k gold every 10 minutes. And it looks like Nature's Prophet might finally be building into that Orchid that we thought he was getting, half an hour ago. Does have the Oblivion staff up. Of course, could also be going for a refresher, would then get a double Scythe, double Shadowblade, and double Ult. So, not too bad a choice either.
So you get double Necronomicon?
No, if you spawn another Necro, it just replaces the units you already had.
Lame.
Yeah, I tried it once before. It didn't work out.
You have a lot of trees though.
Yeah, I think the only hero that sort of works on is Zet, who isn't in Dota 2 yet, where he can actually just make a clone of himself, and because it counts as a different hero, Necronomicon still works. It looks like they're going to go for a pick-off on the Queen of Pain, but she does spot out the tree sprout. Ooh, the sprout's thrown out for vision, but they just can't see her. They ping it out, but she's going to TP out in time. So still quite a bit of a stalemate here. The teams are really close in golden experience still. So it's just about really finding the right initiation or being able to get a pick off before a big fight. And I think the Radiant team really need to make use of this Aegis and Cheese that they have at the moment and try to force a fight.
Well, at the moment, this really is any team's game. I mean, Neo ESG7 does have the advantage. They have got that top racks, but it's not going to be the be-all end-all. Oh, initiation going on bot lane. They do actually the Hex one of the Visage's neutral creeps, but this might not matter as they might actually get the kill on him anyway. Yep, a lot of nuke damage going down, and they do manage to pick off that Visage. A little bit of a misclick there by the Queen of Pain, but they do manage to clean up anyway. But as I was saying though, Crew have just got such fantastic late game, and with that Razor, if he does decide to go for an Arganims, or even something like an AC, like he's going to be able to rip through towers. If they can manage to score a team down on Neo ESG7, they will actually take this game. So it really is anyone's game at the moment.
Yeah, I think the top rack's really keeping the Radiant in the game. The Dire's kind of anti-push is really hurting them. We can see a Razor with all of his farms still struggling just to clear out these mega creeps. And another wave's just going to march right into him as well. With the game going so late, the creep numbers start to really stack up. And support heroes like Bane and Nyx are really quite bad at trying to defend this base. If they ever do get a team wipe, they're going to have to go, ooh, we see an initiation on bottom. The Nature's Prophet gets hexed up and just dropped instantly. So much right-click damage coming out. The Shackle Shot's going to land. But a nice Sanity's Eclipse coming out is going to pop the Gyro's Aegis, and he's in a bit of trouble here. He's going to drop the BKB instantly, and he's going on the OD. No, switches to the Queen of Pain, manages to get a bit of a mini stun off, but she blinks away. The Razors come in, gets stunned up twice by the Nakes. I don't think the Abyssal was either. It was. And the Dire on the back foot, having to run away. Queen of Pain only at about 500 health. Oh, she turns around, gets the Hex and the Silence off. She's going to get a solo kill on the Windrunner. The Orchid's going to pop her. But Nyx coming through, and Nakes rather, and getting a nice bash. So that's going to be the Queen of Pain down. And if we take a look at buyback, Queen of Pain does have buyback, as well as the Nyx. So, or rather, the Nyx isn't even dead, so it doesn't really matter.
OD.
But yeah, OD does have as well, so they can be a full team again in no time flat. The Gyrocopter still 4.1k up. Replace that Aegis with one of the gems that dropped in the fight. And it might be going for
one of the
like
multitudes of gems.
Yeah, exactly. A Blink Dag is actually being picked up by Nyx, so their initiation's got a little bit stronger there. There's just so much mobility on this Dire side as well. It's going to be very hard to push in.
What is this going at? Looking at the gold graph, it has gone back from absolute peak high of 5,000 down to 2,500 gold advantage. I've actually never seen a game that has gone this long that has had such close-up golden experience. It's my first time.
Yeah, especially for the high level matches, it rarely happens.
What's happening to Dire?
But the Radiant are going to force a fight. They know everyone's up currently. Razor's just going to come straight in. Gets off the link on the Lifestealer, who also gets hexed up. BKBs get popped off. The cooldown hits on 3. The Bane goes down instantly to the flat cannon damage. And the Abyssal comes out on the OD as well, who buys back instantly. The Quinapane very low. Lifestealer just not getting in range. Sprout comes out on Razor, who gets taken down. An ultra kill for the Gyrocopter. And I think this might be a good game. It's going to be a second set of racks at least. The OD hexing up the Gyrocopter, but he's going to have to force stuff away instantly after getting silenced. Visage living very dangerously. Uses his Ghost Scepter, dodges all of the right-click damage from Queen of Pain, and Radiant are just going to rotate into middle lane. And this is what happens when a game goes so late. As soon as you lose one team fight, you lose your entire base. Ooh, a nice force stuff, getting Kenji out of the way of that ultimate. Gyrocopter actually picks up a Divine Rapier in the middle of this. OD goes down again, so no buyback for him. Queen of Pain gets silenced, and just before the Hex comes out, gets Shackle Shot. So this is going to be the final racks, and the good game is called.
That was a very interesting game. A really unorthodox build by that Nax. It definitely worked, but you don't often see a Shadow Blade into an Orchid, into an Abyssal Blade, into a Lincoln Sphere. Like, that's a very, very interesting build.
Very, very odd pickup. And Gyrocopter did go for the Divine Rapier, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it took him long enough though.
So only, what, 44 kills in a 62-minute game. So quite action-packed at the end there, but really taking a while to get going.
No, GG. Well played, guys.